Is your life, which is mentally broken due to defeats, becoming an unpleasant place? Is being a woman an understatement? But taking the next step will make you a woman who has conquered life. J.K Rowling said, "I am the most failed person I have ever seen." Joanne Rowling aka J.K Rowling is the author of the Harry Potter series of storybooks. She was a British woman by birth. Her world-famous Potter series has sold over 400 million copies and has been the basis of numerous blockbuster films. Rowling has contributed to these films not only by giving her approval but also by her creative production assistants. According to Rowling, the initial seed of the story came to her in 1990 on a train journey from Manchester to London. Rowling's life story is an extremely revolutionary story from a very miserable life to one of the richest people in the world in just 5 years. She is although known to audiences as Rowling, she was Joanne Rowling when her first Harry Potter book was published. On the guidance of her editors, J.K Rowling changed her name. Rowling was born on July 31, 1965, in Yate, North Bristol, England, to Peter James Rowling and Anne Rowling. After, they moved to the village of Winterbourne. She received her primary education at St. Mitchell Elementary School. From an early age, Rowling dabbled in imaginative storytelling and used to tell these stories to her sister. She wrote her first story at the age of 5 or 6. Rowling received her secondary education from Wyden College. Her mother also worked there as a technician in the science department. After studying in Paris for a year, she moved to London to work at Amnesty International as a researcher and bilingual assistant. 1992 October. On the 19th, she married Jorge Herranz, a Portuguese journalist. They named their first daughter Jessica Isabel Rowling Herranz. However, they separated in November 1993. During this time, she became very ill, and during this season, she had hallucinations about the spirit creatures and dementors that would appear in her third book. Within 7 years of graduation, she was going through the darkest period of her life. Her marriage had fallen apart and she was an unemployed mother, but she describes this period as the dawn of her freedom. Despite continued unemployment and disappointment, she resumed her writing while working in restaurants. Again she went to publishers to make a success of her life and the baby's life, but 12 publishers rejected her work outright, and her inbox was full of rejection letters. After these events, she went to Bloomsbury Publications, sat before the editor, and began to read her manuscript, and a little visitor eagerly listened to her strange story. This little guest is the 8-year-old daughter of the editor. This little girl eagerly asked to read the story till the last page. They accepted her book, but leaving the editor's booth, she decided that she needed to find another job and could no longer make a living writing children's books. But with the publication of her book, everything changed. So far, all those who had rejected this wonderful magical fiction of hers as a failed book were proved wrong. She earned $400 million through this book series, and $476 million through the final film, and this series was translated into 73 languages. It sold millions of copies. Her income through the sale of these copies exceeds $20 billion. Perseverance is no less evident in her character, and she is a failed woman if she has not forgotten obstacles and hardships and moved on. If someone dreams of doing something and is passionate about it, even if you keep getting defeated and rejected, don't let rejections and defeats get you down. If you're going through a tough season in life, it's hard to live without failure, and don't give up on your commitment because of it. One day you will break records and become a great person. This precious female character is a role model for all the women of the world, and women should not give up their hopes and aspirations, due to separation from their parents, failure of marriage, and being alone in the world with their children. Thank you.